All right, guys, welcome back to another section of this HTML tutorial. You are still watching Code Base, and I am Sunday. In our last tutorial, we were able to look at the HTML text format. We saw how you can able to use this text format to format your text in HTML. And we saw the bold, emphasis, we saw the strong, superscript, subscript. We treated all these things in our last tutorial. Don't forget, we are still doing HTML, and this is just like the basics of the HTML. So when you are building a house, you must have a foundation first. So this is just like the foundation of web development. So you must understand this foundation or these basics before you can be able to do well in web development, because all of them will still fall back to how you structure your website. You can start building your CSS and JavaScript, as we have already explained in our previous videos. So guys, please stay tuned to this channel as we guide you through on becoming a web developer. So like I said in our last tutorial, we treated the bold, emphasis, superscript, subscript. We treated how you can be able to apply this text format in your work. So please, if you have not watched that particular video, I'm still going to drop it under the description section so that you can be able to watch it and follow us as we progress. Now today, we are going to be treating another interesting topic in HTML, and the topic is HTML quotations. HTML quotations. Now, under this HTML quotation, we are going to be seeing some tags under them. We are going to be seeing the citation tags. We're going to be seeing the quotation tags. We are going to be seeing the Q tag. We're going to see the other tags that falls under these HTML quotations. So guys, without wasting much of your time, let's go to the practical aspect of this tutorial. But please, before you go, please kindly subscribe to this channel, because we'll be bringing more interesting videos as we progress based on HTML, CSS, JavaScript, PHP, React, and so many other programming languages that will help you become a professional web developer. So please kindly subscribe to our channel, turn on your notification bell, and please, if you have any question at all in any of our videos, so just make use of the comment section, drop the question there, and we'll be right there to attend to you. So guys, let's go to the practical aspect of the tutorial. See you guys there. All right guys, welcome to the practical aspect of this tutorial. Now we are going to be going straight to what we have for today. Like I've already said, we are going to be treating the HTML quotation and citation elements. Now, in this HTML quotation and citation elements, we are going to be treating the block quote, the Q, the abbreviation elements, the address, sites, and BDOs. So we are going to be treating this in this tutorial. So please, if you have not subscribed, please subscribe, turn on your notification bell so you don't miss any of our videos. So let's go to the practical aspect of this tutorial. Remember, in our last tutorial, we treated all this. So we treated the HTML text format, and when we preview our work, go live. Let's see how it looks. Okay, it's coming. So this is how it looks when we view our distance. This is all we treated in our last tutorial: the superscript, the subscripts, the underline, the bold tag, italics, and so on and so forth. So please, if you have not watched that particular tutorial, I'm still going to drop it under the description section, or you can go through our YouTube channel and watch the ones you have not watched yet, so you can follow us along as we progress. Now I have to clear all this from all this right up within the body. I have to clear all of them. Now this is our fresh work. Now nothing is here. Now let's start with we are going to be treating HTML quotation quotation and citation. Citations element. So this is what we are going to be treating today. Let me use my HR to demarcate it. Okay. Let me also draw my HR on top here. Sorry about that. Let me save and check. Okay. So this is what we are going to be treating: HTML quotation and citation elements. Now, the first one we are going to be treating is the blog quotes. Yeah. Let me use my blog quotes. This is the first one you're going to be treating. Let me add this in a break tag. HR and HR. Now this is the first one we are going to be treating in this tutorial. Now, block quotes actually defines a section that is quoted from another source. It actually defines a section that is quoted from another source. Most browsers usually index a block quote element. You get most of the browsers they will index the block quotes element. So just like we have been writing our elements all this way, so you just have to, okay, let me use my p tag and start the first one. This is a quote. You can say this is a quote from Codevis. Then can use a filter. Then after it, you can now write your block quote tag or elements. Let me say elements. So opening tag block quote close it. Then you write your closing tag. Then inside this opening and closing tag, that's where you now write your the quotes, maybe the source, as in the content of the stuff you copied from another source, or the content of stuff you copied from another website or any place. So this is where you write the content now. So you can say this. Okay, let me use my dummy test. Let me use Roem. Let me use Roem. Roem is just like a dummy test. You can use if you don't have any content yet. You can actually use your Roem to replace the content. Then whenever you have a content, you can replace it with that Roem. So you can use Roem as your dummy test. So let's say that this is what you copied from another website, and we have to add it inside a block quote element. So let's check how it looks. You can see, and I said that most browsers index this block quote element, and you can see this particular element is indexed in this browser. It's actually indexed in this browser. So that's how you write your block quotes element. So, and also this block quote also works with cite attributes. So let's use our cite attribute here. Citation is where you just copied it from, maybe we copy this stuff from a code base. You have to add the https. Okay, www.codebase.com. So it works with this attributes. Remember, this is attributes because we added it within the first or the opening tag. Okay, and we have already treated that in our previous videos, how you add your attributes. So this works with the citation. So we are still going to see this citation in this particular tutorial. So if you don't understand it yet, just calm down. When we get to that to the point of the citation, you can able to understand it. But just know that the block quote works together with citation, because citation is just like where you copied the post from. So this helps the browser to actually grab more information about this particular text here. So to the browser now, the browser will now recognize, okay, this is actually where I copied or where the post is coming from. You get? So that's the work of this citation here. So you can see this is how you write your block quote. And like I said, some browser will index this particular block quote, just like this browser, this Chrome browser is indexing this particular block quote element. So that's the first one we are going to see. Then the second one we are going to see is Q elements. In short, for you can call it short quotation. Again, you can use your Q element for short quotation, or just like quotation mark, the quotation mark you know about. So you can use your Q element to actually represent this particular quotation mark. So just like we have been saying, let me use my HR tag to break it. Okay, let me use my break tag first. Please, why I'm using all these things so that you won't forget them. So if you are writing your code, also be using them so that to master you, because coding is all about practice. If you don't practice, you just forget everything we are doing here. So it's advisable you practice, you put these things into practice. You get, the more you practice, the more you learn. So let's put our, okay, horizontal break tag. Okay, let me use my Q elements. Okay, then HR. Q element. Now let's write our, okay, let me say, what am I got here? Let me put my P tag. Inside this P tag, I'll now say code base is, okay, let me say according to code base, according to code base, embrace tech. I so much love this word. Embrace tech. The word is advancing. The word is advancing, full stop. Now, you know, this according to code base, this particular one from this place to this place is what code base said. So it's supposed to be in quotation mark, showing that this is what someone said. You understand? So what we are, if you check this in now, it's going to be in a normal paragraph element. Now, for you to add your Q tag, you get, or your short quotation, you just have to go to the starting point of where the person started saying the stuff, or the quote, as in started saying the quotation or anything, or the content of that place. The person started saying the word. You get? So from here now, where this person started saying the stuff is from embrace tech, the world is advancing. So you just come to this first starting point and write your Q. Is Q tag is presented by Q closing tag. So you have to close it just like we did in our last video. Anything within this Q tag is going to be in quotation mark. So you just have to copy or cut. You just have to cut this closing tag and paste it where the quotation ended. You can see, so anything now within this quotation mark or this Q tag is going to be in quotation form. So let's check. You can see, according to code base, comma, embrace tech, the world is advancing. You can see this embrace tech, the world is advancing, is actually in quotation form or quotation mark. So this is how you add your quotation Q tag in your work. So this is also saying this can serve as the char. You can say this is the way to learn. You can see this this is the main quotation mark. This one we have here. This is actually the real quotation mark here. So you can see that brother will recognize this one as the real quotation mark than the one you actually inserted with your keyboard. Again, we inserted this one with our keyboard, but we use our Q tag to insert this particular one. And you can see this one, this first one we inserted is actually looking more real than this second one. So you can see the difference now. So it's always advisable when you are building websites, especially for organizations, you want to add a quotation mark, you make use of your Q tag. Don't actually make use of this your keyboard quotation, so that when someone looks at the work at your work, you know that this was done by a professional. So that's one thing I wanted to point out here. Okay, now we have seen our Q element, that's short quotations. Now the next one we are going to be seeing is abbreviation. ABBR for abbreviations. ABBR for abbreviation. So it defines an abbreviation or acronym. Just like we have HTML, hypertext markup language. We have WHO, World Health Organization, and other abbreviations you have. So you can actually present your work in abbreviation. Then use your title attributes, so that when someone hover on it, on that particular abbreviation, again the person will now see the full meaning of that particular abbreviation you wrote on your website. So this abbreviation works in hand with title, because if you just write the abbreviation, someone that doesn't know the meaning will not understand what you wrote there. But if someone comes to your website and hover on that particular text, you will see the full meaning of that abbreviation. So this is what we are going to be using this abbreviation for. And remember, we have treated the title attribute in our last previous tutorial. So if you have not watched that, please go back and watch these tutorials, because it will help you a lot as we progress. Now let me use my break tag and HR tag. Let me come here and HR tag. Then this one, ABBR element. This ABBR stands for abbreviation. You should know how this thing will look like now. So no need of showing you guys again. So let's write our, okay, let me say code base. Let me use my B tag. Code base was okay. Oh, let me use okay. They was founded in 1948. I mean, yeah, should be. So, and we expected that this who should be in an abbreviation form, right? Now it's already in abbreviation form, but if someone should go to your website and see this like this, without knowing the meaning of this who, he will not understand this particular stuff. He has to start going to Google and googling everything and finding the full meaning of this particular WHO. Okay, so but with the help of our title attributes, you can actually tell the person visiting your website that, okay, this is the full meaning of this WHO, without the person going to Google everything. So what you have to do is you just have to come here. First of all, you have to add your abbreviation tag. So you have your ABBR here. Now you can see when you type your ABBR tag, title attribute is already with the ABBR tag, showing that the title attribute, the ABBR tag works with what? The title attributes. So you understand now? It works with the title attribute. But even if your code editor is not user friendly, or it's not that user responsive, that what you have to do is just start, even if you have seen this, just cut this one, cut the closing tag, just like we did in this Q tag. You cut it and put at the ending of this Q, this WHO. Then you come here, you type your title. Remember how we write our attributes equal to, then opening and closing quotation. Then inside this quotation now, you now type the full meaning of this who, and the full meaning is World Health Organization, World Health Organization, World Health Organization. Okay, I'm going to mistake here. World Health Organization. Okay, and this is the full meaning. Now let's check and can see when you hover on this, you'll be seeing the World Health. You'll be seeing the World Health Organization here. Now let me remove this. Let me remove this title. Let me cut this title. I'm still going to paste it. So let me just cut it. You can see you will not see that particular hovering this thing, that particular title here when you hover on the who. But that's why title is very, very important when you are making use of your abbreviation element. It's very, very important because it will pass more information about that particular abbreviation or that particular word you just abbreviated. So that's for the abbreviation elements. So I hope you guys understand this. So anyone you want to abbreviate, just come to that place, just like we have been writing our tag. If you want to abbreviate, just like we wrote our bold in our last tutorial, say, let me add my, this is the bold tag. Now, if you want to bold only this bold, this particular word, bold, what you have to do, you just come here, type your opening P tag, type your opening B tag, close it. Then the closing is already here because it's user friendly. So cut this one, come to the ending of bold and paste your thing. So anything, any word within this opening and closing B tag is going to be in B form. Sorry, in bold form. It's going to be in bold form. So that's the sense. That is the same thing we are also applying in all this we have been seeing here. So anything you write within the ABBR tag is going to be in abbreviation this thing form. That's if you hover on it with the title attributes, you can be able to see the full meaning of that particular abbreviation. So that's how you write your tags or your elements. Okay, so that's it. Let me use my HR bold first. Bold HR HR. Then the next one we are going to be seeing is address elements. Address. This is usually it defines the contact information for the author or owner of a document or an article. Just like you have been seeing, if you go to a website, you will see the contact information of the person that owns the website or the document or the article. So you can actually use your address tag or element to actually define that particular area. You get it? Because these address elements, they have their own default styling and default indexing and everything. Okay, so you don't actually need to start giving spaces and everything. It has their own default styling, everything. So which you can actually override in your CSS when we get to CSS. So as far as you have written your address tag, the browser will see it. Okay, I actually want to type information or write information about a particular article or about the owner of a particular document or file. So that's the work of all these tag or all these elements we have been seeing here. So they have their own default styling. Yet, so let's see the address elements. Yeah. Now, the same way you can say you write your address. And inside this address, open and closing address, you can write your this YouTube channel is owned by different tech experts, or written by this book was written by this person, visitors, blah blah blah. Okay, and say okay, let me Let me use this one. Let me use my break tag to break it. Then started this here. Let me use my break tag also. We are located at Anambra State. And okay, get that in. Okay, let's just work with this for now. Just work with this for now. So remember, we are going to write all this within the opening and closing tag of the address. Okay, let's see. I can see how this particular browser has styled this particular text. You get in italics form. You get this is the work of this particular address element. So if you remove this tag now, this address tag, and add a b tag, the styling is going to change. The styling is going to change, just like we said in our first HTML. Okay, sorry, our lesson 2, not first. We said that HTML is actually the tags is actually used to communicate to the browser how to display your elements. You get, it's used to communicate to the browser how to display your elements or your content. So that's work of the tags. And the tags, the browser does not display the tags itself. You are just using the tags to query or tell the browser this is how I want my content to display. Okay, that's why when you write your b tag, the browser already know that it's a b tag, and it has to bold that particular content inside the b tag. You get, so the browser will not start writing the b tag everything from beginning of the b tag to the ending of the tag. No, it will just display. It's just using the b tag to pass information to the browser or how you want your content inside the b tag to display. So that's the same way we have our address. If you have your address, the browser already know, okay, this is address and this content are inside this particular address, and it already know the styling they will give or it will give to the content within that particular address tag. So this is what you make use of your tag to do in your HTML. Is you can either use it to structure your website and how you want it to look like. So that's for the address or content or address elements. Again, that's for the address elements. So the next one we are going to be looking at is the citation or cites elements. Okay, let me use my HR as usual. HR, the user is HR, sorry. HR. So this HR, I will have my site elements. Now, just like we have seen in the other in our first this the quotation we did, the way we made where we made use of the block quote, we actually use the site to actually cite the particular place we copied that particular quote from. Okay, so let's now make use of that site as a tag in our work. Okay, just like we have been saying, you have to write your let me say b tag. Okay, now this citation is actually used to define the title of your work. Let's say that you have a work, you're writing a work or you're writing a novel, and you want to display that particular image in your website. Then under the image, you can have the title of the of the novel and also the author of the novel. Now, what you have to do is, okay, you can just come here. First of all, let's put our image. You get, remember we have treated image tag. Let's put our image, and we say inside our image tag you have source. You also have alternative auth attribute. This is auth attribute, source attribute. This is auth attribute. So this auth is just like when the source is not actually displaying, this can pass extra information to the viewer. that okay, this is what's supposed to be here. You get, if this particular image is not actually displaying. Now let us add a image. Now I hope you can still recall how to add image. Now I have image inside this folder, this image folder. I also have image that is alone. It's not inside any folder. Now let me first of all add the one that is inside the folder. Now you first of all type the folder the image is inside. The folder is what? img slash the name of the image inside it that you want to display is actually Codebase logo 2, which is showing here already. So you can actually just click here to display it, or you can type it anyone. Now this is how you can locate your image in folders. Now if you display this in now, it's going to be big because the logo is actually big. That is big. Is big. So you can actually use your width attributes, which we have already treated. Width attributes can say 50%. No, let me use 40%. 40% is okay. Okay, 40% is okay. So you can actually use your width attribute to resize this particular image. Are you seeing it? Now, this is how you can locate images and inside a folder. That is inside a folder. You get. Assuming this image is inside another folder. You need to be online. Assuming this image is inside another folder. Let's say this image is inside. Okay, let me go to my okay, this is root. Okay, let me create another folder here. You can actually create folder from here. So let me create another folder inside this image. Let me call it second. Then inside this folder, let me have my image. Let me go to my desktop. This is the folder we are working on. That is image. We have second. So let me copy this image, copy and add here. Okay, let me cut it so that one will not display. Let me cut it. Let me delete. Now I have already added it here. Should rename this so that the name will not be long. Let me just use Codebase or code. Now, if you check this image now, it's not going to be displayed because we have already deleted this one that is here. You can see we have already deleted that one that is inside this particular image. Okay, this particular image, this particular code.png is inside this second, and this second is inside this image. So we have two folders. You pass two folders before you see this particular image. But if you only pass this particular folder, it's not going to display. Let's check. You can see this particular image is not showing anything. It's not displaying. Now, that's it. But if you go and add, let me add my inbox and second. Inside this second, we have the logo Codebase. Let's check again. You can see it's not showing. Sure you get it. So this is how you locate your directory. You get. So that's very, very important because when you are doing a big project, you will have many folders inside folders, folders inside folders. So if you don't know how you can actually locate these directories, you will find it difficult to do that particular job. So it's important to know how you can locate your images or your CSS file or folders, anything. So now if you want to add the image that is already here, you don't need all these folder because it's not inside any folder. It's in the same directory of your root folder. So you don't need any folder here again. You just have to write your code base because that's the name of the image. Codebase. Sorry. See, it's displaying. There you get. So this is how you locate your stuff. So I have treated this already in our previous tutorial. So this is just like a recap of what we treated. But also you can watch that particular video where we treated the image tag very well. Now let's go back to what we are treating. We are treating the cite element. So assuming this is a novel image, this is a novel, you get the front page of the novel, you get. So let's say that this novel was written by, okay, okay, let's call this novel Code Base, yeah. So the Code Base, Code Base, Code Base by Sunday, okay, by our team, get. Okay, say written printed. Okay, let me just say okay, let me just say printed in 2013. Okay, now this, let's see how this thing will display first. This is a normal p tag, so it's just going to be displayed as normal p tag. Now assuming you want to add this code base so that it will be in citation tag again, so all you have to do is just come here and open your citation tag, cite, close it, you come here, cut this closing one, or you can just copy. I've deleted out. Okay, just inside this star site, you just say the code base, because that's the name of the novel. That's the name of the novel, Code Base by our team, printed by. So this is how you write it. So let's check. You can see this particular one now. This particular title is in italics form. So this cite tag defines the title of a creative work. That's either a book, poem, song, a movie, a painting, or so any of these things. So it's actually used to define the title of a creative work. I mean, a person's name is not the title of the work, so it's not actually going to be in italics, because your name is not the title of the work. So you're actually going to italize that particular title. So that's why we have to put our cite tag or put the title in between the cite tag. So that's how you make use of the cite tag. So the next one and the last one we are going to be seeing under this topic is the BDO. BDO means bi-directional override. Bi-directional override, just like from the name BDO, just like from the name bi-directional override. If you want to override how a particular stuff was performing before, if you want to override it, maybe it was going for front, and if you want to override it to be going back, you can make use of this bi-directional override. So that's the meaning of this BDO. So it's used to override the current text direction. Yet if the direction was going front, can you make it to be going from back to front? So this is what you're going to be seeing. So let's see it as okay. Start here. Break tag. HR. Now let's see our BDO. Sorry. BDO. Now, as usual, you type your BDO. Now, BDO comes with what we call direction, because you cannot just type your BDO without giving it direction, because if you don't give it direction, it will just follow the normal. So let's test something. Let's move this direction. It is here, so that you'll be seeing it as I write it. This is BDO test. Now let's check. Now, yeah, you seeing? Okay, let me use break tag to break this. Sorry. Let me use break tag to break this. Let me use another break tag to give it more space. Now you can see this is BDO test. Are you seeing it? This is BDO test. So it's not actually having any effect. This particular tag we added here is not actually having any effect on this particular test. Because of why we removed the direction attribute we added there. Okay, so that directional attribute is very, very important because that's what is going to pass the message of these tags that, okay, I actually want to move it from left to right or from right to left. Check it. So it's very, very important to make use of this direction or dir, that's direction in full. Direction attributes in your BDO, very, very important. Without it, it's not going to actually work. So remember when we treated when we started our tutorial, we said that some tags will work without attributes, while some will not work without attributes. So in this particular video, it cannot work. It cannot work without attributes. It can't work without attributes because it's attribute that will make it to rewrite or overwrite the particular direction of that text. Another example of a tag that cannot work without attribute is our anchor tag. It cannot work without attributes. So you must add attributes in them for them to work. You get? So it's very, very important to note this so that even if your browser is not user friendly, because some text editors are not user friendly. If you type your video, it's not going to autofill the attribute for you. So you have to type the attribute manually. So assuming it's not user friendly, and you just type this in, and it will show like this, and you check your browser, it's not affecting any change. You'll be confused where to start. You get? But assuming you know this without the autofilling of a thing or the easier way, you can actually know, okay, oh, because I'm not adding attribute here, and this particular tag supposed to work with attributes. You get? So this is very, very important to note some of these tags that works with attribute and some that cannot work with attribute. So when you get an error, you will know where your error is coming from. Now, this particular one, we say it does not work with, it can't work without attributes. So if you don't add attributes here, it will not work. So you must add attributes. The same thing with anchor tag. You must add attributes in them for them to work. You get? So let's see the direction equal to, then direction we can say let's move it from, because it's already from left to right, so let's move it from right to left. RTL means from right to left. That's the meaning of RTL. So let's save it and check. Are you seeing it? This thing now moving from, this is OBD test. So it's now moving from, it's overriding the test. It's now moving from right to left. You get? So this is how you make use of the OBD. You can also say let's move it from left to right. It will change to normal one. This is OBD. Sorry, this is BDO test. This is BDO test. You can see it's not normal. But when we did our left to right, to change, to override that direction of the text, you can see. So this is I know that you cannot read this now. So you can see how you make use of your BDO test by directional override. It's actually used to override the current direction of your text. Yes. So that's it for this tutorial. So guys, recap of what we have done for today. We started with our HTML quotation and citation elements, and we treated the block quote, the Q, abbreviation, address, cite, BDO. So we say that the quotation is actually used to define section that is quoted from another source. It's not used to define a section that is quoted from another source. And this quotation makes use of the cite attribute. Now we are going to be using cite attribute, and we also treated the cite tag itself in this tutorial. So, but this particular block quote makes use of the cite attribute, and the cite attribute is to pass extra information to the browser that, okay, this is actually where we copied this particular content from. So that's why we must add that particular block quote, because block quote means that it's a quotation or it's a copied work from another website. You get? So you have to add the source of the website. So that's what we treated on that block quote. Then we also went further to the Q tag, and we say Q defines the short quotation, just like we have your quotation in your keyboard. And I said that for professionalism, you have to make use of the Q tag if you want to write your quotation in your website. Maybe you want to quote the one particular person, you can make use of your quotation as your Q tag to pass your quotation. So it will appear in real quotation mark. So just like we have seen in this place, I mean, we saw it here. Yeah, you can see it. Yeah, I've seen it here. You can see it's appearing in a real quotation form. So guys, this is what we actually treated in the quotation. You can see we added this thing within the queue open and closing of the queue tag. So that's what we did in the quotation, and we also went further to treat the abbreviation tag, that is ABBR, that for abbreviation. And we say that this abbreviation also makes use of the title, because the title will pass extra information to the browser that, okay, this is actually the full meaning of this abbreviation I just wrote here. So that when someone goes to your website like this and hover on this, hover, not click, hover, just drop your mouse on it, the person will see the full meaning of the abbreviation you just wrote your website. So that's the work of this title attribute we added inside this abbreviation tag or element, because I've already added a content there. So that's for the abbreviation. Then we also treated the address tag. We also treated the address tag just from the name address. It's actually used to define the content information for the author, or the owner of a document or an article, So you either use to find the content information, the address, the written by, the email, the country or visitors or the website, anyone. So all this information will be inside the address. And we see that the browser will recognize that address. Okay, this is actually address, and style it how it's supposed to be, which you can actually override that particular styling with your CSS. You can do it with your CSS when you enter CSS again. So, but for this particular tutorial HTML, this is the default styling for address elements. As far as you are using address tag within the content, it's actually going to display like this your HTML, unless you can use your CSS to actually override it. Now we went further. Okay. This is okay. We went further to treat. We also saw the cite tag. We said cite tag defines the title of the creative work. Whether your novel, your movie, your painting, anyone. So you just have to add the title within the citation, just like we did there, within the citation tag or cite tag. You just have to add it within it so that it will put this particular word in a italics form. And we say that we use this image tag to represent our novel. Assuming this is novel and this is the author, and this is the author, and this is the title of the novel, you can put this title of the novel inside the citation tags so that your browser will style it accordingly. And anybody that is tech inclined seeing your website will say, oh, this person is a professional, because you will understand that you're actually applying the necessary things on your website, knowing that, okay, this is actually going to be in citation form and the browser is actually putting it in italics form. So that's it. So, and lastly we treated the BDO, and we said that BDO is bidirectional override. Bidirectional override, the BDO is actually used to override the current direction of your text or the current text direction, assuming your and also you must add attribute there. So the attribute will now be the direction. That's whether it's going to move from right to left or from left to right. So this is going to be the attribute, and without the attribute, this particular BDO is not going to work. So we also treated this in this tutorial, and that was our last topic we treated in this tutorial. So guys, please, if you have not subscribed to our channel, please kindly subscribe. It's not going to cost you anything. Please kindly subscribe, and so that you can keep seeing more videos. Kindly subscribe. We're going to be taking this tutorial gradually, and I will advise you practice these things when you are free. you practice them, because if you don't practice, I will assure you that you're going to forget all these things, because web development is all about practice. The more you practice, the more you learn. So I advise you practice these things so that you can be able to understand it more better, and you will not forget these tags we are using here. So it's important you follow us around as we progress, because some of these things we are going to be using all of them, so most of them in our website. Get when we start building our website, we're going to be using them. And if you don't understand how to apply them, you're going to find it difficult to understand at that level. So please kindly stay tuned, kindly subscribe, turn on your notification bell, like our videos, share our videos to your friends and families, and use the comment section if you have any question, and we'll be there, right there to attend to all your questions. So guys, watch out for our next videos, where we'll be teaching you another interesting topic in HTML. So guys, see you in our next video. Bye for now.